This book talks about causal inference, causal discovery, and it talks about it from a practical standpoint. From a standpoint of a person who wants to take those methods and apply them in practice, in particular using Python. And that's a great question. I'm certainly biased as the author, but what we hear from people is that for most people, the explanations in the book are intuitive. Now, they also emphasize that what is written there, the way the book is written, allows them to grasp complex concepts in a way that is easier for them than with other materials or perhaps other books that they encountered in their causal journey. And the second thing is a little bit more objective. So this is about the content of the book. To my best knowledge, that's the only book on the market currently that talks about causal inference and causal discovery, and also talks about causality in the context of deep learning, large language models, and so on. So this content of the book makes it unique as well on the market, and you cannot find this kind of combination of topics in any other book, in particular in Python. Well, I think the first one would be that the data alone is not enough to answer some of the most interesting questions that we have. And that holds for both business and science. Why is that? That's because in both business and science, we are often or most of the time interested in answering questions about what would change in the world if we've done something. What change do we expect in the world if we go and act in the world? So it's different from just predicting something statically. So the first learning would be that the data is often not enough to answer the most interesting questions that we might have. The second one, I would say, is the importance of the process. We need to understand stuff. We need to understand what we're doing, and we need to do things in a systematic way in order to get good results. So the importance of the process would be the second learning. And the third learning, I will go with something a little bit more particular. So the third learning would be that the data generating process sometimes leaves traces in the data. Data alone is not enough to answer many important questions or interesting questions, but by looking into data as a little bit like playing detective, and trying to find those partial traces in the data, and then adding expert knowledge to this and adding some assumptions that we making sure that these assumptions are realistic, can help us get to really, really interesting results. So the third learning would be the data generating process leaves traces in the data.